Welcome to Outspoken Owls. In Parliament today, we're talking about more pet peeves. So we can call them irksome quirks and personal annoyances, irritation, bothersome, annoyance, or constantly annoyed, or just pet peeves.
Just pet peeves, the sequel, this one, hey? Because we've done it before.
But I think with us, we might have more.
We've got so many.
Yeah. So, of course, there are things that just get under our skin, right?
Mm.
And I know we often speak about what annoys us. Some people annoy us. Things annoy us. But I think mostly it's people that annoy us.
Things they do and say.
Things they do and say. One of my pet peeves is when somebody says to you, no offense, but I'm already offended. There's like a disclaimer.
As it comes out of their mouths, you're like, you're offending me.
Already offending me. My guard is up. You've already done a disclaimer. So I know that it's going to be something negative. Okay. And then, of course, I need to be prepared about this offense.
So you're already waiting to say, okay, fine. So how are you going to insult me right now?
So my hackles are up. My cheeks are burgundy because I don't get pink, right? I do get easily offended, but I'm trying to think, am I oversensitive about this? Am I just being oversensitive? Are you questioning something about me?
Well, this is the thing. But why do people say that in the first place? I also find that quite offensive, to be honest with you, because it's almost like a disclaimer that you're putting out there for what I'm going to say to hurt you or offend you.
So what the F must I do with this knowledge?
What must you do with it? So what do you do with it? How do you normally respond to it?
Well, I would like shut the F up.
No, but you don't say that.
Well, I don't. I think that, right?
You think that,
I think that.
But you see, the thing is, I think we need to get to a point where we actually say to people, I don't know, not say, but we need to find ways to let people understand it's actually not okay to say that. No offense.
Okay, so should we?
I think most people are offended by that, or do you think we're just sensitive?
No, I think we should be sensitive because we cannot accept somebody that's saying no offense, but this, that, the other.
Why do you think people say that?
Why they feel that they have a right to say something or their right to an opinion that is really not valued for me. So I just, in my elder years, I would say. Before they actually say anything, I would like to say, it's okay. Is it okay if you don't continue that conversation? So I might sound a little bit bitchy. Onto my next offense is somebody would say to me, no offense, but you have a resting bitch face. What the F must I do with this knowledge?
First, bring me up to scratch. What is a resting bitch face?
Maybe I don't smile. I mean, I don't smile often because I do have Botox and I don't want to wear that off. But I guess maybe because I'm like, I walk into a room and I don't really have a reason to smile. Do you like kind of, I mean, it sounds a bit weird when it looks a bit weird when you smile for no reason.
Okay, no, on that one. But if it's somebody that you know very well and they're bantering and they're teasing you, that's different. But are we talking about complete, people that shouldn't be making comments like that? Because, I mean, I think there's a boundary with it. If it's somebody, if you said that to me and you're laughing and you're hugging me and say, come on, let's go of that.
But you wouldn't start, you would say that, but you wouldn't say no offense.
Yeah.
Well, no offense. I hope you don't take an offense. I don't think you would do that.
So there's already an element of nastiness in there.
Yeah. People are already wanting to be nasty. People are generally nasty. I think we know we get this on Instagram.
It would be nice to find out how people generally feel about that comment.
But do you think it's just like a physical thing? It's like physical features that people want to say to you. No offense, but you look a little bit round today, or your face is a bit fuller. Yes, I've had a cupcake yesterday, so maybe I had a fuller face. So do you get that?
I get that, and I agree with you. I think that's quite offensive.
So so another thing I want to say is that you end up going to like a coffee shop or a restaurant that does a takeaway, and then you're standing in this queue for 15 or 20 minutes and you want to order something, and then the person in front of you arrives there and she would start looking at the menu on the wall.
and that person has been in the queue for 20 minutes in front of you already, and they've had all the time to look at the menu.
To think about what you want. But also, when you choose to go to a restaurant or a takeaway, you already know what the menu may look like or what kind of food is there. So you know what you feel like already. Now I already know what I want. I already know what coffee I want and what sandwich I want. Now I've got to wait another 10 minutes because, the person in front of me is going to...
I wonder if that is just not personality, or just somebody looking for, they just want to
I think they're just unconscious.
They just want to chit chat. They want to make conversation. They don't see the urgency of like, there's a line waiting. I don't think people actually stand there and they don't know. They kind of know what they want, but now they want to get to the front and be cute.
Oh, really? Or then the other thing is they would ask the person behind the counter, what do you think is great for me to have today? How would the person even know? And that person doesn't really care.
Yeah, but you see, this is the thing. I think it's people that are trying to make conversation. I think it's a personality thing. Honestly, that's my opinion. It's a personality. I think people get to the queue in the front and they want to kind of charm the person behind the counter. And like, how do I look like? Do I look like strawberry milkshake, or do I look like...
Do I feel
cranberry?
like...
No, what do you see me? What would work for me? I think it's that kind of thing. And instead of just knowing I want strawberry milkshake and get there and say, one strawberry milkshake, please, large.
I don't know who these people are, but they just sound so undecided. Like, I mean... Don't you have like a smartphone that you can look at a menu?
Okay, listen. So just to come in there. So I was talking about people want to chat, right? So I still think that it's about personality, maybe. And then there's I'm just thinking about something where certain countries where they actually have like an express aisle and a express aisle and a slow aisle, right? Where people who want to chat can go and chat to the person behind the counter or behind the till. It's also a way of actually fighting loneliness. Some people just don't have anybody to talk to. So when they get to the store, this is the opportunity. So if you think of a country like the Netherlands, for instance, they have that. And it's actually to assist the citizens with loneliness.
Well, I guess we best have these two aisles. But I know that you don't have the loneliness factor, but you also guilty
you don't know.
of...
I'm lonely.
No, you don't have the lonely, but you also randomly, that one girl that is talking to the person there.
I'm that person.
And I'm like,
I have empathy for those people.
Yeah, but I'm like, Glenn, we gotta go. Like, why are you...
Katie, I live by myself. I'm a lonely human being. I get there and there's
Louis.
A friendly person.
But you have Louis.
But Louis don't talk, and I'm standing there and this
well,
person
he don't talk back.
I think, honestly, I don't know. I think we need to give them a little bit of grace, man.
Okay, well, so
be a little bit more patient when people need to. But maybe our country needs those aisles. Like,
yeah. No, we're in a hurry.
Fast
we're in a hurry
queue
all
to
the
the
time.
right, slow queue to the left.
Well, on that note, you have a pet peeve about the escalators.
Oh, yes. So, well, this is before you get to the actual store. You need to go up the escalator.
Yes.
Now, this is where I don't have patience.
Okay.
Because, again, I think I can remember being in the UK. It was the UK. And even on an escalator, although an escalator is a moving piece of equipment, transportation.
Yeah.
When you want to stand still, you stay on the one side. And if you want to still keep on moving and catch your train or whatever, you go on the other side. Now, what I find really irritating, it's a real big pet peeve, is if I get onto the escalator and there's Katie and a friend next to each other.
Having a conversation.
I just want to move you over. And you've been to the UK, people will say, excuse me.
Well, they do.
And you need to move over. So that's my big pet peeve.
And it's the whole thing about keep left, pass right.
Exactly.
Keep left, pass right. Keep left, pass right. And I think,
understand the rules of the escalator.
Yeah. And we just want to rush to get there.
Or the stairs. It's the same thing. I mean, if people are blocking a passageway or whatever, just let other people go.
So we're talking about escalators. And another pet peeve is on the elevator is... We're all in this elevator and we're waiting to get out.
Oh,
and
the elevator's the enclosed one.
Yeah. Then there are 3 people standing right in front of the elevator. And can you let me get out? So all of a sudden they want to get in, you want to get out. Yeah. It's like, who's in a hurry? Can you just
It's the same kind of thing. It's that courtesy thing. You're right. The elevator opens and there's just a wall of people there.
Yeah.
Now, where do you go?
There's no excuse for that, to just rather let people out.
Yeah.
And then you actually know how many people can get in, I would assume. Because, there's probably 5 people that need to get out and there's 10 people that are waiting to get in. So
Katie, I just I'm just thinking of the previous one we did. You have a lot of pet peeves in the shopping centers. I remember the last time it was people walking with you. You got a lot of flack for that one,
I did get a lot of flack for that. I do. Yes. Maybe
people
I should just...
brands.
I know. Maybe I should just stick to shopping online.
You will be way less stressed and...
I'd be way less stressed.
And peeved off. peeved off.
I might just be one of those older women that just throw themselves on the floor and have a tantrum one day because, like, I can't take this being in the mall anymore.
Yeah. But can I throw in one before I forget about it? I was just thinking about something that really gets to me is opinions. You know, we all are obviously allowed our opinions, but have you ever listened to people express their opinion and it's just an uninformed opinion? There's nothing that irks me more than an uninformed opinion. You're talking, but none of what you're saying actually is, there's no substance to what you're contributing to the conversation. I'm all for opinions, but let's come with a little bit of information.
Yes, like I think on Jimmy Kimmel, when they went around asking people in the street about the eclipse.
That one.
I mean, like, everybody has an opinion about the eclipse.
And what do they say? Like, I believe it's
in
the
my
moon
opinion.
and the what?
I mean, really.
Is it the eclipse? I mean, who doesn't know what the eclipse is? So just say that's what it is.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
So, yeah. So that is, I would assume opinions don't matter to me. Like, keep your opinion to yourself, but the facts are the facts.
But people are always going to express their opinions and they're allowed to.
Yeah. And then you just like keep quiet and just like.
But it irks me when you. I mean, it's that one, but it could apply to other things. It could apply to people where you think you know a person, and you want to express all your opinions about this person, but you've never even met this human being. You know, that one I deal with all the time.
Yeah, and I'm sure you do. Okay, so this one is really. I don't know whether I will ever get over it, but I think people should get over it.
Yeah.
So the one annoyance that grates me the most is when people say to me, "But you look so tired."
This one definitely grates you, my friend. Remember, I think in one of our previous chats, we talked about, I think it was in our aesthetics segment, you brought this up. It wasn't a pet peeve, but you brought this up. So I am just smiling because I'm thinking this one really, really gets to you. But it's true because we were talking about it. I mean, let's talk about when somebody says you look so tired and you know you've been adding layers and layers to cover your dark circles.
Well, it's stressful enough to get up on the wrong side of the bed for the day. And then somebody like tells you, "Oh, but you look so tired," after you've put a couple of layers of
and trying to really conceal. And then
it's like you kind of feel even worse.
Yeah.
And I don't think, and people need to be conscious about that because you don't know what you're going through. Yes, there's the genetics. It is something that you have to embrace.
Yeah.
I saw something on TikTok the other day where people went off at this young girl that doesn't put makeup on, and people were like, "Oh, but you're not a natural beauty." And she was like, "Well, this is who I am.
Wow.
I have pigmentation. I have dark rings. Other people put filters. Yes, we're guilty of putting filters. I hashtag filter all the time if I do it. And we put makeup on. But some people are okay with walking around.
Without
they're actually okay because they've accepted this is who they are. And I think just the whole "you look so tired" thing means that there's something wrong with me.
And again, I don't know. Do you think or do you believe that people just say that it's just a conversation starter almost? Or
no, people
because I think many people don't intentionally, I don't think it's their intention to hurt or say, but they need to be aware.
No, but I think
do you think they are?
I think they're unconscious.
They're
that
unconscious,
they are
that's what
hurting
I mean.
somebody.
Yeah.
But I want to know, why do people feel they're entitled to say that you look tired or you've picked up some weight? What is that? You're not my friend.
Yeah.
So if you and I were like, "Hey friend, you know what? This skirt is a bit too tight. The last time you were," I would be okay
different.
with that. But some random person that sees you on social media or in a mall. I mean, there are some days that I just walk around, with just dark glasses, no makeup.
Yeah.
And there's nothing I can do about it. Then you've got to take your glasses off and talk to someone. They're like, "Oh, Lord, you look so tired." And first of all, Lord has nothing to do with it. I probably had a late night.
Just like making it even worse. "Oh, Lord, you look so tired.
Lord has nothing to do with it. I probably had a late night. And it is maybe you're not drinking enough water, whatever it is. But from a genetic perspective, I have embraced the fact is that my mom, my grandmother, my siblings. We like a raccoon family. We have that. It is an Asian thing, we have that issue. And I also do think that I am beginning to embrace myself. But I do look at myself in the mirror when I do leave the house. So I know that I'm comfortable with who I am when I do leave the house. So it does grate me when somebody does tell me, "Oh, you look so tired."
Okay, my turn. Another one from me. Drivers with no courtesy. I've watched this twice in the last week. For instance, this morning, I'm leaving my complex. I am trying to go right and I have to cross over the road. Somebody comes, very courteous driver, flashes for me to go. And then the person behind her shoots out from behind and tries to go and almost goes into me. Not go, but I mean, you know what I mean? I'm like, what's the rush? Why can't you just wait for that second, seeing that this person is giving me the right of way and go? And then, for instance, at your same thing as where you cross over, and some drivers will actually just stop and give you some time on your road. The people are kind of, shooting, flying,
left, right, center,
going across that road. While there's a whole string of people in that section where you live, where they just need to get a second to just cross over the road. For me, it is a pet peeve. It's like, come on, have a little bit of 1 second of just saying, go, your turn.
And again, that's where the road rage comes from as well. So people get, angry, upset because, somebody's taken it and somebody jumps off. Well, then, I would just do that.
Yeah. Especially when you see there's a whole string, the line is getting longer and longer, and all you have to do is give one person a go. I know you've got right of way, but it's about courtesy for me.
I just think
pet peeve.
I think it's people are just unconscious, and I think if we're more aware of things and people, but
more human, man.
Yeah, more human. But you're more of a gentle soul than I am. So
you are one of those people that don't let people.
That's what I would like. App yours, like go you. But yes, and I think it does, and because I am somebody that is courteous. So when somebody else does that to me, it would annoy me. So. Oh, of course, so for me, it's like you go to a grocery store now and you're busy trying to, to shop. And then all of a sudden you're trying to buy a detergent. And then there's a sourdough bread.
Is it sourdough specifically?
It's sourdough bread that's there. And I'm like, wait, what happened here?
The sourdough detergent.
It's like somebody decided, well, I think the sourdough bread is not something I want to do, or I'll
just leave it here.
I'll just leave it there. I mean, where did you get it? I mean, again, it's a whole courtesy thing. It's a consciousness thing. Take it back from where you picked it up from. And then you walk to the car park, and then you find, when you're driving into a car park and you find a parking slot that's really quite nice. I like to have an extra big parking space. And guess what? As I'm taking the turn in, there is a trolley.
And now you have to stop and get out unless the car guard comes in, and you don't even give him 20 cents.
No. And the thing is, there is also a trolley bay. So again, it's when you take off your groceries, take the trolley, put it in a trolley bay. And I don't understand. And I've seen people, I've called people out, and then they say to me, mind your own business. I mean, I pay taxes.
But this is my business because I want to park here.
But I pay taxes, and I'm calling you out and parking your trolley in the right places. So I think for me, again, I think it's because I am very observant, and things do annoy me and irritate me. And I think I do call people out when when something does annoy me. Like even with the elevator thing, I would say, excuse me, could you just wait for us to get off and stuff? And I think it's calling people out.
Calling people, but just reflecting on what we've discussed, it's really all about courtesy and consideration. And many of what we discussed today is actually courtesy and consideration. Hey?
So yes, we all have pet peeves. It's different from one person to another. We all are annoyed about something. It'd be interesting to know about your pet peeves. Post your pet peeves in the comment section.
Now that was a hoot. Thank you for joining Outspoken Owls. Catch you next time.